Particles.
Can I tell you something, Tony?
Don't pretend like I got a choice. Particles.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, come on, man. Today is going to be a dandy, kids. We've got our high noon hijinks all lined up for you today. Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing, y'all? Great Creative Tony checking in live from an undisclosed location in Las Vegas. Very kind of nondescript background, but we'll get to T in a second. Want to say good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for lining up today in the comments line. Got a great show. We got Creative Tony's review. I want all the X's and O's from the Sphere. Opening night of this entire summer run that Dead and Company are doing, and Creative Tony was in the house, and I can't wait to hear every little detail that you're ready to offer up. And then after that, we're going to bring in Patrick Connor, our great producer and great friend, lifelong buddy from the Murph and Mac show. Old Peaches, old Pat. P-Conn joins us right around 12:30. Tony, we're not going to waste time today. We're going to jump right into the business at hand. I want to talk about Longbridge Pizza. Yeah. And sorry, just bear with me. I'm coming to you shortly.
Oh, dude, no worries.
Hey, listen, Longbridge Pizza is waiting for all of y'all this weekend. Longbridgepizza.com, the menu. Check it out online and see what they can offer you and your appetite this weekend. They do deliver throughout the city. Tremendous news there. But if you're going in, it's on 3rd Street, 2347 3rd Street, just a few blocks up from Chase Center. You enjoy that laid-back vibe, the serious pizza. I've been raving about the Nico pizza for weeks now, but I'm really looking forward to the premiere, the debut presentation of the Polymac Particle Pizza. We'll be diving into that next Thursday for the Polymac opening day party for Giants baseball. Hope to see everybody there. The doors are wide open. We're going to have a merch stand set up. Don Peralta is the brain trust behind that whole maneuver. And we've got great shirts. We've got stickers. And I know Neil Denardi is ready to welcome all of you guys as family, Tony. So when you touch back down in the Bay Area, dude, Longbridge, great vibes are waiting for you, T. And I'd like you to speak to Longbridge for a second, just before we get into, because I got to update you on the Warriors. While you were shaking your bones at the Sphere, I got some stuff I got to translate. I mean, Steph Curry went down last night, so I want to get into that. But you take it away on Longbridge. I want your crispy thoughts today, T.
Well, dude, you know how much I love the place, and I'm so fired up for next Thursday. Literally 6 days away from our season opening watch party. 2347 3rd Street. I want to get Neil and or Andrew on the show next week to do a little like we had with Los on the show. I want the people to see the faces and get to meet these guys before they meet them in person. So we can do that next week. But also, I just want to also shout out the beer selection, because you talked about the pizza, you talked about all the food, right? And the beer selection is phenomenal with Pliny the Elder. I had a Pliny yesterday at the SF San Francisco airport, by the way. But they have great beer on tap, and they have great people behind the counter working the restaurant, and they got Steven's playlist. And also, Neil passed along to me, they got new spices in the house, dude, and just ask for Polly's Stash. They're behind the counter. They're not out and about. So if you want to spice up your pie a little bit, and they have different flavors and different heat ranges. They range in heat, and you can always eat more. You can never eat less, Polly. And that was my mantra last night. At the Sphere. So longbridgepizza.com, get involved, and we can't freaking wait for next Thursday, man. So longbridgepizza.com.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony. Now, first question I have for you today. Actually, let me tell you what you missed last night, and then I want to get into the Sphere. So, first of all, the Golden State Warriors, Tony, they win again. Okay, so the homestand is finished now. They went 6-1 on that homestand. You really can't ask for anything better than that. It's funny, we had Fitz on the show yesterday, and we talked to Bob Fitzgerald just 24 hours ago about how opposing teams just make a habit out of roughing up Steph Curry to the point of the absurd. And we saw that manifest itself again last night. Steph Curry gets fouled hard in the paint. He goes down, he lands on his tailbone. It was a very scary moment. Tony, Chase Center, it was like a church. It was so quiet in there, because when Steph Curry goes down, everybody holds their breath. Now, I think he's going to be okay. He did have an MRI. Here's what I can give you right now from ESPN.com. Golden State Warriors Steph Curry underwent an MRI, confirmed the point guard suffered a pelvic contusion, but no structural damage. So he's going to miss the start of the 6-game road trip, which starts tomorrow, Tony, in Atlanta. There's optimism, though. He'll feel better and he'll be reevaluated on Monday. So to me, this smells like the best case scenario. He's been dealing with a bad back as it is, so I'm sure this is going to compound that and his uncomfort level. But I would say that he should be back on the trip. So he might miss 2-3 games of the first half of the road trip. He'll be back on the back end. I'm expecting. And we'll
post show at like some bar in the Venetian last night. That was being discussed. That was like a hot topic. After the show, and people are worried. So it's like, come on, Steph.
Well, Tony, it was one of those things where you could hear the thud, like it was so loud. It was like thump when he hit the ground, and it was scary. I got to say, it was pretty scary. And again, Tony, no foul call on the play. No foul.
Not.
It's just, I mean, you guys want to protect your greatest asset? There's a crazy idea for the NBA. This guy is, by the way, I saw a stat. My kid James sent this to me yesterday. We're talking about LeBron and Steph, and James sent me a stat that said Steph Curry has been involved in the 25 highest rated NBA games over the past 15 years. Steph Curry's been in every single one of them. That being said, Steph Curry equals ratings. People tune in to watch this guy play. You want to protect him? Maybe a little bit just for kicks. I mean, I don't know, but it's getting pretty frustrating. And get well, Steph. That's all I can say there. Draymond Green, another big night, 21 points. Jimmy Butler delivered a triple-double last night. So, again, the Warriors are playing excellent basketball. Quentin Post.
Paulie, too, dude. The bench, again, the freaking bench, dude. Quentin Post, 18. Kuminga, 16. Like, come on. And Kuminga's getting 25 minutes. Quentin Post getting 22. Buddy Ball getting 19 minutes. Like, the way Kerr is using the bench, man, it's just it's a sight to see. It's really, you got to applaud the job Steve Kerr is doing with this team, man, and getting everybody minutes. It's pretty freaking amazing, dude. And sorry for the voice, by the way.
No, I love the voice. This is what let's transition right into it. Now, Tony, quick question. Are we I don't even know this because we didn't really have a pre-show meeting today, but are we doing a top 3 today? I'm not even sure.
I believe the whole show is a top 3, so we can just go like
all right. Well,
I mean,
I do know when P-Conn joins us, I want to show him our bummer brackets, and we can get back into making some selections there as March Madness. Now, by the way, any kind of attention to March Madness? Were you able to catch any games?
I have McNeese State. I do a pick'em poll.
Sure.
A pick'em poll.
Let's go McNeese, dude. Let's go McNeese.
8 teams, and each team picks 8 teams, and it's a 1 through 8, and then 8 through 1. It's a snake draft, as they say. So I had the 3rd pick. So Florida went first, Auburn went second, and I took Duke 3rd. But then it came down later, and I had the chance to take McNeese. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take McNeese. And by the way, Tom Tolbert's not going to be very happy. This is not very kind of the Bay Area Sports Collective brethren.
Okay.
I also have the Akron Zips going up against Tolbert's Arizona Wildcats today. So,
dude, the Zips, okay, the freaking Zips. Tony, so March Madness underway. Hope all of y'all's and your brackets are doing well. Hope you guys are afloat. Tony, on to the big news. The reason that you're in Las Vegas. And by the way, where are you broadcasting from? Like physically, where are you?
So I'm at a condo for my sister and my cousin's wife. They work at the same law firm together in San Francisco, and they have a condo down here.
Nice.
That they're like, hey, you guys can stay there. We're like, okay. So
how far from the Strip?
It's like a good, I don't know, maybe 10-minute cab ride.
Yeah.
But we were at the Wynn yesterday. We saw Jeremiah Crow.
JC. He's our founding father. Yeah, he's our founding father. Bay Area Sports Collective. He's the guy to put it all together. And by the way, he put us together originally. Myself, John Lund, Creative Tony, Tom Tolbert, Danny Ogden. Guess what? We might have more family members added to the family tree as the days unfold. Stay tuned. More news, more good news for the Bay Area Sports Collective coming up shortly. But Tony, back to the condo. So,
but JC runs the Sirius XM studio at the ground floor of the Wynn Hotel. So I was in there. I wanted to check out the grounds, and dude, what a setup that place is, man. If you guys ever go to Vegas, go to the Wynn Hotel, go to the ground floor. It's right next to the tables and stuff. It's like a looking glass studio. Yeah. And Oteil Burbridge, bass player for Den Company, was there doing some stuff before the before I got there, because Grateful Dead's the Grateful Dead channel for Sirius XM was doing some stuff there. So, but funny side story is the glass was so clear and clean that as I'm looking where to walk in, I'm like, oh, there's the door to the left and it's locked, but it looks like there's this little entryway that I can go like kind of like sit down.
Okay.
And dude, I didn't realize that it was glass.
Nice.
And I walked right into it, face plant right into the glass.
Bravo.
Dude.
Very nice. No, you didn't break the glass, did you? I hope not.
I did not break the glass, but people that were there's like a group of 6 people behind me. They started laughing. They're like, dude, as long as you're okay, man.
No, it's fantastic. I wish somebody had that on film. I'd love to show that during the top 3 today.
Oh,
but you know what, Tony?
But Jeremiah comes down the hallway. I guess it created such a loud noise inside the studio. Beautiful. That he's like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Are you banging on the window or whatever?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
No. Let me in. Bang, bang, bang. Get O'Teal off that mic. Bang, bang.
So no, then, Leah, yes, my face print was on the glass. So I pulled up my shirt and started wiping down the glass.
Oh, dude, I love everything you're saying. Way to get the weekend rolling. Now, Tony, I got to tell you, I would break your balls, but I'm very sympathetic to that because I've done the same thing. Only maybe worse. Let me tell you what happened. In fact, I think Rags was on hand for this mishap. But years ago, we had all my friends from New Jersey. We had these 2 brothers, Mark and Scott Christensen. They had like a summer house up in the mountains of Pennsylvania, right? And it was in this little tiny town called Shahola, Pennsylvania. And they would have like these big ass parties, Tony, at the summer house. So one time we're partying all weekend long. It's like a 3-day affair. You know what I mean? You just wake up, you start up right again. We're grilling food, we're swimming because it was right on this river. And anyway, we're late one night, like maybe day 2 of this 3-day lost weekend, dude. I'm walking around on the deck and I'm getting ready to go back into the house. And at this point, Tony, I had a couple of cocktails in me. I didn't even realize that the door going back into the kitchen was closed, dude. I literally walked right through the screen door, through. Yeah, the whole screen. I took it right. I walked in full force. Wham! Just took the whole screen door down. And Rags, I don't know if you remember that, but I'm pretty sure you were there. Yeah, he did. He remembers. Yeah, right through the screen. And these things happen, Tony. So again, I can't crack you too hard. I've done the same thing, maybe worse, causing structural damage to the frame itself as I walked right through the screen.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But I was like, you know what? We got to keep moving. Got to keep doing it. So it was bad. But then the show was freaking.
I want to get into it. Give me everything. You walk in, your thoughts. How did it look? The sphere. Give me everything you got, T.
So you walk in. It's like walking into like a humongous dome, and you don't even know what to expect. And all of a sudden the place comes alive.
Yeah.
And then the band comes out, and they started with "Give Me Some Lovin'," and I was with my dad, and I was like, I was worried. Is my dad gonna be like? Are they gonna play like some weird, like I don't know? Playing in the band can get weird, you know.
Oh, dude, playing in the band can go on for 20 minutes, and you can find yourself into deep space in a playing in the band, or like a Dark Star. Like,
yes,
you don't want to get too psychedelic on your old man right out of the gate, right?
That was my main concern.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, but they started with "Give Me Some Lovin'," and dude, he loved it. Everybody loved it. The place was just oozing with joy.
Can I throw some notes in on that real quick, Tony?
Okay,
so the significance of that is. The song "Give Me Some Love," and we all know that's a Stevie Winwood song from the 60s when he was in Spencer Davis. Great song, so glad you made it. You so got to give me some love and give me some love. Now, the Grateful Dead used to play that, Tony, and the fact that they opened the show with that was a nod to Phil Lesh because Phil used to sing that with Brent. In the 80s, and Dead and Company had never played that before. It's crazy. Dead and Company's been a band 10 years now, and they had never played that song before. So I 100% guarantee that was a tribute to Phil Lesh, even though
that's phenomenal. And Andrew, by the way, Andrew of Longbridge Pizza, what's up, dude? It's not to be confused with Good Lovin'. You're correct, and they played Good Lovin' later on in the set.
Nice.
So it was like, come on, man, this is incredible. But so "Give Me Some Lovin'" and the visual on the screen, they started at the front doorstep or the steps of the stoop of 710 Ashbury.
Yeah, man, so that's a Grateful Dead house.
With the video, and then they zoom back and up, and they go over all of San Francisco, then over all of the Bay Area. I mean, dude, you see Stinson Beach, you're seeing Ocean Beach, you're seeing like Monterey, it's incredible.
Yeah,
so it was amazing. So
yeah, and that's like
and then,
only the opening number. That's like only
right.
the first song. Like now you're off to the races. Yeah.
Dude, they did a Scarlet Fire that was beautiful. They did, but and I'll get into the musical assignment. My favorite part of the show will be my musical
Yes.
assignment
Yes.
later.
Yes.
But they did a Knocking on Heaven's Door that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Touch of Grey to end it all.
Really nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it was
Nice.
great. And Terrapin was beautiful. And it was one of those nights where it just seemed like seamless, dude. Everything was seamless. And the whole day was like just kind of, I don't know, like when you're in a groove and everything's
It's all
just kinda,
working. Yeah, it's all coming
flowing.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all flowing.
How did
I mean,
you do
dude,
with? How did you
and
do?
I want to shout out the Grove dispensary that we stopped at after
Okay.
the airport. After the airport, I got to
Okay.
give love to the Grove. They were great, man. And so, because
Wait a minute. What do you say? Was your dad getting involved? Wow.
he wanted to try some gummies. I'm like, you know
Hey,
what?
man.
Let's go.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
Sure.
So yeah, it was
Sure.
wonderful. It's wonderful, man. And Bobby sounds great. He
Yeah.
sounds so good right now. And the byplay between Jeff Chimenti on keys and John Mayer, they were like in each other's back pockets.
No,
all
they're
night,
loving
man.
each other.
All
They're
night.
this close to making out on stage, bro. They can't
Yes.
get enough. They'll just face each other and start playing to each other. Yeah, they
Mhm.
have like a really good thing going.
Oh,
those
dude!
two.
And I also saw Jay Blakesberg, our photographer friend, who's just all over the scene. He was there snapping away, and I went and said hello. And by the way, he said to say hi, Paulie, and he said he wants to come on the show. So,
Oh, for sure. We'll definitely get. Now, Jay is that renowned Grateful Dead photographer. You've seen a lot of the iconic shots, and Jay's heavily involved. Like I think he is the official photographer of Dead and Company now. He shoots all their gigs.
and he has that great book, Between the Dark and the Light. That's
100
that Garcia book.
Yeah, he goes way back. We've had him on our podcast in the past, and we'll definitely
Yeah.
get Jay on again. So anyway, good. I'm glad you saw Jay. And then what was set break like? Did you wander back out into the lobby, grab a $50 cocktail?
Set break was the controlled, joyous mayhem that it can be. I don't know how else to describe it. Like,
yeah.
and my dad was hilarious because I when I get to shows, I just enjoyed meeting people and talking to people. And so he's like, "Look at this kid! Look at this kid!" But I was with my uncle and my cousin and my cousin's father-in-law as well. So we had a good posse of 5. And
Is your uncle your dad's brother?
my dad's brother-in-law, married to my dad's sister.
Nice.
Uncle Mike,
Nice.
big Uncle Mike. We call him Uncle Grandpa.
Yeah.
And my cousin Marty, and then Marty's father-in-law, Mike Reyna. And Mike Reyna said to say hello too. He's San Mateo Mike.
What's up?
Used to be
Oh
on
yeah,
his show.
dude. San Mateo. Hell yeah, San Mateo,
Yeah.
Mike. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
So it was great, man. The particles were flying. It was just great. It was so wonderful.
Did your dad know? Because I looked at the set list last night and then again this morning. Did your dad know Bertha? Is that a well-known enough tune?
Dude, he knew Bertha because my old band. He goes, "Didn't your old band used to play this song?" And I go,
yeah.
"Yes, Dad.
Yes,
good
yeah.
ear, good ear." And then he also loved Going Down the Road in the second set, which was a hoot, man. That was a jam, and the whole place was like bouncing. It felt like,
Oh yeah. Well, tell me about some of the. Go ahead.
Right. The sound there is just just out. It's probably the best room I've ever been in, sound wise.
It's funny. Tony and I are really similar. We've seen probably a couple of 100 shows in our time together. By the way, Rag's coming in with a drum space Takashi. Dude, can we get a drums arrow space arrow Takashi? Can you just play it now? Play Takashi.
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it now.
Yeah.
And I also want to say the Japanese particles were in the room with Takashi, because right behind me there was a couple from Japan, and I started up a conversation with them, and it turns out they're from the little town where I played baseball back when I was 13 years old, Toyonaka. They're from that town. Here we go.
Thank you, man.
Come on, Clark! You're an alpha
Thank you, T. Yeah,
It's
dude, I'm
the
starting
best.
to learn the lyrics. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I'm starting to figure out the lyrics. Sasaya Takavanada, whatever that means. I'm singing it. Good. It's good that we got Takashi stamp on today's show. Jeff Winkler asking a question too. Tony, how was the Feel Like a Stranger? Winks would like to know.
It was incredible, and I was saying to you before. I think I said it off the air, my Paulie, but it was really funky. really funky.
Well, that's the idea. Yeah, that's what you want.
Really funky.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is nobody saw it coming. We're all talking about what are they open seventh? What's the second set opener going to be?
That is
And I
an
was like,
odd second set opener. That is kind of an odd choice. Yeah.
they did a great the little noodle tune-up wandering session.
I love
they
that
did
shit. I could listen to that stuff all night. I love that. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
they
yeah.
landed on Stranger, and I'm like, wait, Stranger? Feel like
Yeah.
Really?
They usually open shows with that. That's usually a
Right.
first set opener. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, man, it was incredible. I didn't see it coming. And then the standing on the moon, but we can talk about that later. Just the
Hey,
whole
give me this, T, as we wind down your review, and it sounds great. So I'm so glad you had a great time. Tell me about the visuals. What were your favorite takeaways from images you saw or places they took you to? Because it is for people that haven't gone, the Sphere experience is you really do. It feels like you're traveling through time and space.
Yep.
It's so
Yep.
crazy. So
they built the wall. They built the wall of sound, like speaker by speaker, on the wall, which
that's
was
insane. Yeah,
phenomenal to watch.
Yeah.
They had a great rainbow, like band, kind of like a wave, kind of like going in and out and like up and down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They also had the dancing bears were dancing all over the place. Any chance they could add the dancing bears, they added them, and it was phenomenal. Like I said, they did the scenescape or the landscape of the Bay of San Francisco, and then the Bay Area, which was incredible too. And then they did a disco ball.
Yeah.
With the Steal Your Face on the disco ball.
Yeah.
I have a picture of it somewhere. And
did they do that thing where they showed the old one of the Sphere shows I saw, they covered the entire dome with just a variety of Grateful Dead ticket stubs from all the years? Did they do that last night? Did you see
yes, they did. I was going to talk about that. They did old ticket stubs. One was from the Grove Theater, I think. No, I forget. But the ticket we all were commenting. It was from '83.
Yeah,
and the price of the ticket was $13.50.
Well, that's how. I mean, yeah. No, dude, I know that you could usually. I mean, up until the '90s, you could get into concerts for $20. I mean, the biggest bands in the world charged $20, and then once the '90s hit, dude, it all got blown to shit. And now it's just, I mean, it's out of control, the prices. But dude, so look, Patty's a super today, Tony. So let's give her some love. I see her name
Patty.
up there. Yeah. Patty, nice. What is her? Oh, good question, Patty. Legitimate question. Tony, address the masses. We need to know, because I want you to turn right back around and double dip, dude.
If I wasn't my son's head coach of his little league team, I'd stay down here and definitely do another show. But I'm heading back late tonight, so because he's got a little league game tomorrow morning. And I missed their game yesterday, and they shout out Santa Carlos Little League Giants. My son got the save, and they got the win.
Nice.
They got the win last night. I think it was they were up 11-0. Classic Little League game. They're up 11-0. I'm getting these blasts during the show of updates, or not during the show, before the show, and they were up 11-0. Then the other team came back and tied it, and I think they won 12-11 or something like that. So good stuff. So yeah, I would, if I didn't have that, I would definitely be going, because yes, when you leave there, you just want more. You just want more. So I understand why people just get, locked. I talked to a couple, they're like, oh yeah, we're here all weekend. We're going to all three.
Yeah.
God, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. When I go in April, I'm doing the whole run. I need, because why not? You know what I mean? You might as well while you can. And
dude, it was magic, Paulie. It was just magic. I highly recommend. And I know Patty says this for the Eagles, and I know people that saw you two there, same. And I guess Lenny Kravitz played a corporate gig in January there.
Okay, I didn't know. Yeah,
same. I was hearing about that last night, but doesn't matter. Just go see somebody at the Sphere.
Agreed.
Seriously, just
Agreed.
go.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a band you love or even like that much. Tony's right. You will have an incredible time. Now, you know who I think? Let's do this real quick. Give me a band you think should play the Sphere. I'm going to go first.
Go.
One band I think should play the Sphere. I don't know of any plans that they have, although it would not surprise me if these guys wind up gigging there at some point, maybe this year, next year, is Metallica. I could just see it. They could do so much with that. Because their song, Metallica songs are like little movies, they're like subject matter, very cinematic. So I could see them doing a whole thing. How about you, Tony? Is Fish going to go back there, or is there any plan? Or who would you like to see?
They did 4 nights. I'm sure they'll go back. I'm sure they have to. They have to go back. And plus, Fish is now getting into a comfort zone of not coming out west nearly as often as they used to, because they're all East Coasters, And it's kind of like how we're all the dad does mostly West Coast stuff.
Yes, yeah,
I live out here.
yeah.
They're not they all, but the remaining members and then the guys who play with them. But they got to come back out. I would assume Fish is, but I saw Don saying Tool. How about Tool?
Tom, that's a good. You know who I could see doing it, but they kind of ended their touring life. I don't think they're going to gig anymore. Is Kiss? I could easily see Kiss doing the Sphere. Can you imagine what they could do to that place? I mean, it's just
That'd be incredible.
It would.
You know what I got to say? This new band I saw at the Frost, and I saw them with Rising Wolf, who's on the comment section. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They could do a 4-night run there and just go bonkers in that room. I mean, or Goose, maybe Goose. They're not that big enough yet. But I could see Goose doing a night or two there as well. That new, the young hippie jam band from Connecticut. So, but Metallica should definitely do a run. No question. No
Tony,
question.
We got another super. He flew by. I didn't catch the name.
Oh, Sanchi. What's up, Sanchi?
Sanchi. Oh, here's Tony. You're being addressed again. Answer the question, please.
Are you broadcasting?
Answer the question, Claire. Answer the question. Go ahead, T. What's your answer?
I am not at a bunker at SF State, no, or Presidio. I'm down in Vegas, but the room that I'm in, yes, this is concrete.
Yeah, it doesn't look very forgiving. Yeah, it looks like a very cold
dude, it's rock solid concrete. But I was watching some March Madness before the show today.
Yeah.
Shout out Baylor beating Michigan State or Mississippi State, excuse me. And the Gales, by the way, St. Mary's Gales. We should give a score update on that because they're playing right now. Okay. And that's what's so cool about right now being down here. It's such a mix of hippies and like college hoops, college hoops head because the sports books are packed. And if anybody that's watching the show, if you've ever been to the Circa down here, my buddy, our buddy Jeremiah, Bay Area Sports Collective, shout out. He was saying to get to Circa, the sports book at Circa. So we're gonna try and check that out later today. I've never been. I guess it's a newer place. That we're gonna go check out. But dude, the Wynn, by the way, have you been inside the Wynn Hotel?
Well, it's funny you ask, and I can give you some March Madness scores in a second. I'll give you guys a quick update, but I haven't been to the Wynn, Tony, but that's where I'm staying when I go in April. I'm staying at the Wynn. Yeah,
it's outrageous. I mean, it is gorgeous.
How far is it from the Strip? How far is that from because I know it's like off the Strip a little, isn't it? The Wynn, it's like
I don't know. I never pay attention when I'm in cars down here, so I don't know.
Okay,
it's like close to the Strip, but it's
oh no, dude, it's like close to the Strip. I like that. Oh no,
but it's like so. You on one side of the Sphere is the Venetian, on the other side of the Sphere is the Wynn. So it's like the Sphere is like kind of smack dab in the middle between the two. Yeah. And we had dinner last night at this place called Buddy V's Italian spot. Dude, the eggplant parm last night. Damn good. So, anyways, it was good. It was good. I wonder if Longbridge would ever do an eggplant parm.
Ooh. Yeah, sure. Ooh, we'll put that bug in Neil's ear. We'll do that. Hey, you know what? When we close today with our final Longbridge spot of the week, we'll put that bug out there and we'll see what happens. Tony, quickly, and then get the brackets ready because I want to do a quick bummer bracket update, and then we'll say hi to P-Conn. But let me see what I have for y'all. Okay, Baylor won. Obviously, Alabama won. Duke is ahead big right now, 24-9. Yeah. Memphis is currently trailing. Now I'm looking for St. Mary's. You said you saw St. Mary's score.
They were supposed to start at 12:15. Maybe their time got pushed back.
I think they're pushed back. I haven't seen. I don't see it yet. Yeah, I don't think they've started.
Oh yeah, it's 12:30 now. They're pushed back to 12:30.
Okay, all good. Good.
Yeah, Memphis and Colorado State tied at 48.
Nice game.
15 minutes ago. Yeah, Colorado State is like picked to upset that game. I think they're favored in that game by a point or two.
Nice.
So
nice.
That could be a classic 12-5 upset. You get those classic 12-5 upsets. So that could be, I don't know. I have Memphis in my pool, so I'm not rooting for Colorado State. But if they win, I'd be happy for them. The 12. You love the upsets. You gotta love to see them.
I want to shout out Creative Tony, and I hope all you guys on the comments line are picking up on this. Like now that he was like at a big party night and he saw the dead and everything, he's coming in with like his Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, I'm looking at the brackets right now. We got some. I think they pushed St. Mary's back,
dude. Like I'm loving your crispy day after voice, dude. Very bassy, man. Yeah, very bassy. Yeah,
and it's funny. I got offered joint after joint after joint. I just don't smoke anymore, at least. And so the gummies were treating me just fine, but and it's not you like back in the day in spliff days, the voice would be really affected, but no, it was all edibles last night. And
all right,
dude, and you're right. You really don't, not that you ever need anything, but like you can just go in there.
Yeah, no, you can
and-
drink a couple glasses of orange juice and have a great time.
Totally.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything in terms of altering your awareness, because there's so much going on. Your psyche will be altered anyway. Like, you don't need any like additional. I agree with that. How did you feel about watching the band? Were you over? Because remember, you were like concerned about how will I know there's a band there. How'd you feel about it?
Loved it. And
yeah.
you know, I like that, and it's classic Dead and Fish and those hippie bands. They don't make it about them. They make it about the visuals, right? And so it was the same kind of vibe that way. But I love sometimes, because I love what Bobby's doing in the this late in his career.
Me too.
And when they would show him up on the screen, like, his face singing and stuff, I'm like, look at him, just look at this guy.
Yeah,
Just
he's a warrior. He's a freaking warrior. Imagine this
man.
dude. He's been playing with the Grateful Dead since he was 16. That's when he joined. He dropped out of school, joined the Dead. He was 16, and he's still gigging, and it's pretty amazing. He is a true legend, true living legend at this point. So,
question.
Last thing, T, how was the effect? I'm assuming you felt this, like when Mickey and Jay Lane start doing drums. Did you get
it?
Were your chair shaking? Yeah, it's insane,
I told the guys I was with, my guys, I think we gotta all have a seat, because we were all standing the whole show.
Yeah,
so I think we all gotta have a seat. And by the way, it was a highly entertaining. Sometimes those can, I don't know. Oh, by the way, Mickey Hart rapping during Fire on the Mountain, dude, which you don't normally get.
He took the vocal. Yeah,
he did some rapping, which you don't normally get. And I was like, yes, look at Mickey go. I love it, dude. I love it. So it was, and drum space, like with the dome, I mean, with the screen, it just adds so much to drum space. And people laying on the floor, by the way, watching space, watching.
I love that.
Screen.
I love that. Now, Tony, I got to address some important show matters right now. I got our guest today. P-Conn is checking in with me via text, and he's saying he needs you to resend that link to the invite. So send it to him, and then P-Conn, check. Do you have his email address? Did you take care of that, T? Because I can send it to you right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna tell him you're resending. Important show production going on right now, folks. Stand by.
All right, here, I'll forward it to him right now.
All right, resending now. There we go. Bada boom. Okay, and then once he joins us, I think he'll be ready to go, like in a minute or two tops. So just resend.
Yeah, sure. It'd be great to see P-Conn's mug too. And by the way, didn't tell Paulie, will you quickly tell the people the picture that Mike Verdu sent you of John Gruden? Do you remember that one?
Well, this is just kind of a pretty cool nod to our kind of radio beginnings and where we all started. So when Tony and I met each other, and Rod Brooks and Jen Violet and the whole original crew, we started at the Ticket 1050, which has now become KNBR 1050. But back then, we were a separate entity. We had Raider football. That was like the big thing. We were the flagship for Raider football, and John Gruden was our guest every week. We had the John Gruden show. So John Gruden, I guess, sent a tweet out. He's very active on Twitter. Gruden is constantly sending stuff out.
Yeah.
So he tweeted a picture a couple of days ago of, I guess he's sitting at his desk, which I assume is in his house. And right over his shoulder behind him is one of the old Ticket 1050 advertisements for the John Gruden show. So it says, like, weekly, the John Gruden show with the Ticket 1050 banner right behind him. It's really, really cool. I can't believe that he actually held on to that stuff, which makes me think, like, we might want to reach out to John Gruden and see if we can get him on, because I'm not sure he would remember us, but now I'm starting to think maybe he will, if he's got that Ticket 1050 thing hanging up in his wall. And that was his first NFL head coaching gig. So I know it was an important time for him. So how we doing over there, Tony?
I sent him the email. I was just trying to find the John Gruden photo, but I can't find it. I sent P-Conn the email, so we'll be getting him momentarily.
Okay.
But yes, dude, the fact that you say, hey, John Gruden, you remember your first coaching show ever in the NFL? You were the host, right? We were the hosts of that show. So we had the John Gruden show after the Joe Bugle show. How about that, dude?
I got to tell you, John Gruden's first run with the Oakland Raiders, that's what put him on the map. I mean, he had a lot of success there, brought him back to the AFC Championship. How about the fact that he had although, let me think about this. Was Rich Gannon the MVP? He had that MVP season. Was he? No, I think Gruden had already gone to Tampa. I was going to say, but Gruden is the guy that kind of revolved that whole program, got the Raiders back to, being a relevant presence again. And I still maintain this, Tony. I really believe this. I think, like, even though these are teams that are mostly hated by most of the NFL fans, like the Cowboys and the Raiders. I think the NFL is in a better place when both of those two teams are relevant. The Cowboys,
no question, no question,
iconic, and they've both been down so long. I mean, the Cowboys kind of poked their head in the playoffs, but they haven't done anything. And the Raiders they've been down on the mat for so freaking long. So I'm hoping they get back up. It's going to be really interesting with Pete Carroll. I don't have any. I'm not a Raider hater. I mean, I'm really not. So
no, same. Not a Raider hater either. Never been an A's hater. Never been a Raider hater. And the Bays team is the Warriors. So never. I don't know. I've never really understood the hatred for the Raiders, to be honest with you. But how could you not love the black hole, dude? Remember back in the day, the black hole. Remember that guy, the Violator? Remember that guy, the Violator?
Well, I remember the name. I remember the Thrill of Gorilla or whatever. There was all kinds of characters. Darth Raider, of course. I don't remember the Violator. Which one was he, dude? Which one was
he? Was the one with his face was painted like black and white stripes
in the Shield? Was he like the walk?
He was in a really big dude, really big dude.
Yeah, with spikes on his shoulder pads and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. Hey, dude. Patrick is in the green room. Should we let him in? He's enjoying himself, so I'm gonna let him in.
Of course, bring in P-Conn. I can't wait to see his smiling face. Where is he?
Hey, boys!
Yeah, old Pat. Look at old Pat.
You handsome sons of bitches. Love you.
It is great to see you, P-Conn. Now, first of all, welcome to
Polymath
Particles.
You guys. Thanks for having me into your awesome show.
Oh, dude, you were like on my list of guests that I had to have join the show as quickly as possible. So we're happy to have you. Now, P-Conn, where are you reporting from today? Where are you?
I'm at the Casa, the P-Casa in South City, man.
Dude, South City. See, look at repping South City, dude. P-Conn, our first ever partner on the show, sponsor, Longbridge Pizza. The two owners of Longbridge Pizza are from South City.
The Denardis, Patrick. The Denardi. By the way, a lot of Paisan presence down in South City, P-Conn. I'm sure you can speak to that. Yeah.
I know all about it. I'm basically half Italian now. So I understand.
Dude, P-Conn married you married into a great you married into a great Italian family, dude. That's good stuff. Hey, hang on, P-Conn. So we got when supers come to the show, when people want to contribute to the show.
Here we go, man.
They donate some money, they contribute some money, and they say their comment goes right to the top. And check it out, War Eagle Murder.
Well, P-Conn, you got to tell the backstory. That was when you had Tim Hudson say that, right? That was the Tim Hudson drop.
Exactly, yeah. In fact, it was Murph and I were at Giants Park, Oracle, or whatever it is now. And here comes Hudson, and we went up and bellied up. Dude started, just shooting the BS, and he dropped a War Eagle Murph and captured for eternity, man. So we used to have a lot of fun with that, no doubt.
Hell yeah. And show them the other one, because P-Conn, that's not the only one. People are very happy to see you. If you click the comment section, you'll see everybody applauding you. There's Patty from Napa. Look at
Patty. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Bear, get out of here.
Bear, dude. Bear. Can I say hi to Bear? Is there any way we could see Bear? I'd love to see him if possible.
Come on, Patrick. Let's see it.
Yeah, give me some Bear.
There's
Bear. Oh, there's Bear.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude.
What's up, Bear?
Oh, he's got the stuffed animal in his mouth. I love it, dude.
That's his binky. That's his little baby that he carries around. He carries around little teddies, dude. It's so
nice. Nice.
Hey, man. Patrick, I'm so glad to see you, dude. I miss you so much. Well, let's start by tell everybody in the comments line, everybody in the audience, what you're up to these days. A lot of people ask about you, and they say, where is he? What's he doing, Patrick? The floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Paulie. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, so in South San Francisco, moved out of the city in 2017 when I was still with you guys before I got whacked, got canned at KNBR. And I'm with my dear friends, Ashton and Elliot and all these guys shipping cars for Move Auto out of Burlingame. So married my my sweetheart in 2019, and we built this house here in South. We didn't build it. We helped build it. City. And landscaping is next, so very domestic. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law live next door, so we have kind of a compound going.
Nice.
David Koresh style, if you will.
Yeah. Just in case, dude. Just in case stuff jumps off. P-Conn's ready. P-Conn's definitely going to be ready.
50 cows, claymores. We got the whole shit, man, ready to roll.
Claymores, dude. Claymores.
This is actually our neighbor, Greg and Christy. Greg is the head grounds crew guy for the Giants. So Greg
nice.
And this is their dog, and he comes over every day for doggy bear care and hangs out with me while I work. So it's great.
I freaking love it, P-Conn. I freaking love it. Now, since we missed you, we missed your sports takes, and I think most people, I got to be honest, Patrick, I feel like you are so kind of synonymous with college football. And I'll be honest, I think since you've left the airwaves, there's been a pretty big hole in Bay Area college football talk because everybody would go to the saloon, hear all your football stuff on Saturdays, and it was a beloved show. And now that you're not on the mic anymore, tell us about my question for you, Patrick, is how do you feel about this new because I thought about you during the playoffs. Like, how do you feel about this expanded college football playoff format they're doing now? There's like 100 schools playing now. How do you feel about that?
I do not like it at all. I'm a BCS guy. I'll even go back to the voting for the champion, with as outdated as that is. I just like some old school values. And listen, I'm all about capitalism. I'm all about growing your business, but it's taken away some of the joy of the season for me. Doesn't mean that anybody has to agree with me. I just feel like a game in September has very little value. That's the thing that bums me out about a lot of sports is, oh, we lost today. You put your heart and soul on the line to be a fan, but we'll be here tomorrow. It doesn't matter. We got another one tomorrow. For me, it's like, dude, I want every game to have incredible consequence. And it's just going to keep getting fatter and fatter. It's like putting me in front of a pizza or a lasagna. I don't stop at just one. I go until I got to open up the belt and I got to sit on the commode. It's a joke. It's not. It's not as fun as it used to be for me. Do I still watch it and I'm sitting on every play? Yes, but it lost a little bit of the luster when they went to the playoff format because it went from 4 to 12, and it's going to even keep growing. It's going to get bigger and fatter. Leon is getting larger. You know,
nice, dude. Not Leon's getting larger. See, that's why we need old Pat around more often. Hey, Tony, I want to ask Patrick another thing. And this is the really hypersensitive question. I want to be careful when I bring this up. But Pat, like again, Patrick Connor, synonymous with college football, great takes, great interviews. His draft specials were legendary on KNBR.
Totally.
Pat, I felt so bad. And I don't know what you're going to say. I have no idea where you stand on this. But when they started adding teams to the SEC, I'm like, I guarantee you old Pat can't be psyched about this because they've kind of altered the whole, like, not only the makeup of the SEC, but it's like you got teams, in my opinion, that just shouldn't be in that conference. And I just want to hear, hey, Tony, look, he dropped.
No.
Did we lose old Pat? Can we get him back in? How do we get
I'll try and get him back in.
Yeah, come on back in, Pat. If you're there, I don't know what happened. 1 minute we had Pat. Now you see him, now you don't. And I was just getting ready for the SEC stuff.
Oh, he's
too.
back. He's back. He's back.
Apologies.
Okay. There we go. No, we're good.
No, you're good. So, Pat, the new SEC. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. So let's say that in the DEE, diversity, equity, and exclusive. We're not an inclusive fucking conference, man. You're not gonna have anybody come in there and play, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
And although they did bring in good teams, so it's not like they brought in a bunch of jabronis. They brought in high quality universities, but I would have liked to keep it a little bit, a little more smaller, just like the Big Ten brought in all the Pac-12 schools. You guys know I was whining and moaning about the direction the Pac was taking. Larry Scott, what a piece of crap. That guy's a con man, a jokester. Dude. And he ruined college collegiate sports for me on the West Coast. I don't think I'm alone, but it doesn't. Dude, who's Cal playing next in the fall? They're playing at Chapel Hill. Doesn't have the same ring to it. Sucks. No.
Right.
Totally
That's
agree.
right.
Hey, P-Conn, dude, it's great to hear you. First of all, great to see you, dude. It's been a long time. Great to see you, man. But I want to know, just go behind the scenes of when you were at KNBR, because you were at KNBR in the heyday when we all were there.
The heyday, dude. P-Conn was driving the ship when we were at our highest.
Totally. But I want to know, what was it like being Murph and Mac's producer? Let's go behind the scenes. Let's pull back the curtain. Let's pull back the curtain.
It
was good, except for that asshole Paulie Mack with all his crazy demands. No, I'm just kidding, Pika. Go ahead.
It was so much fun, man. It was a lot of fun every single day, and I have so many great fond memories that I'm still friends with you, Paulie and Murph and Tony. You did. I mean, how long were you there? And so there was a good vibe, and that doesn't mean every day was perfectly without conflict. Not every day was perfectly harmonious. But I would say 98 out of 100 days were awesome. And it was a great experience with so many great adventures and the ability just to BS all day long and just be goofy and play sound. And it was a great experience. So working with Brian and Paulie was a tremendous experience. I'd imagine if you were to ask Tanika, and Kate and all them, what it was like working with me, they'd probably roll their eyes. I'm not
Nah.
an easy guy to work with. I'm not an easy guy to work with. So
The best thing
so
I always used to think about, Tony, would be like P-Conn would be like, and when I got to tell you, when P-Conn was like producing the Murph and Mac show, you didn't just go waltzing into that studio in the middle of the show. P-Conn would have your head on a freaking spike if you came in like uninvited or unannounced. And I always used to think of, you mentioned Kate Scott. I always used to think about Kate, Tony, positioned behind P-Conn in the studio behind P-Conn. And P-Conn would be doing the show, standing up, pointing, yelling. And I always remember like his pants would be like coming down by like the second hour. Like, P-Conn's pants were slung low, dude. Like upper cheek were definitely in view. And I was like, now, Kate Scott is there's no way to avoid it. She's got a close-up look at the hams of a P-Conn. Tony, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, it also, P-Conn, he always called his area, you can't step into the crease, right?
Yeah,
Don't step
the
into the
crease, dude. The
Remember
freaking crease.
Yeah.
Get out of my crease. Yeah.
Get out of the crease.
Hey, if somebody stepped into the crease, dude, a bow could fly. It was bad news.
Yeah.
Not because I wanted to be. It's not because I wanted to be a jerk. It was because I'm so focused that if you come in and catch my periphery and I don't know who's coming, I was living in such a zone that I may have to defend myself.
Well, and that's why, hey, P-Conn, you said people maybe didn't enjoy working with you. I totally disagree. Number one, and number two, you were passionate, dude. You wanted to make sure the show sounded tip top, man. That's what I always loved about you, dude. And so the whole crease thing we're riffing kind of, but back in the day, the way people treated the control room was like the Wild West. They just walk right in during a live show, and it's like, whoa,
get out of here. We're on the air.
Yeah.
No,
Salespeople would bring like clients in. I'm like, what?
Hammer would gallivant in, and he'd be sitting there and mumbling.
Patrick, come see me when you're done with the show. I need to talk to you. Yeah.
I want to apologize to Kate if she's watching or listening somewhere, because she did have to see gluteus maximus, and I've got a terrible ass. There's pimples, there's hair, it's disgusting. And then poor Tanika or DJ Robbie or whomever would have to smell my rancid odor because I go to the gym and then take its shirt off.
That's right.
It was like working with Pigpen, man. It was not pleasant. I forgot. And I was cranky and intense and screaming or didn't listen. I'm just a mess. I'm a mess.
Oh, dude, I forgot. This is bringing me so much joy to think about, because that's right. P-Conn would come walking in, dude, in his sweatsuit because he'd be working out before the show. He'd do his power lift routine, and then he'd walk in. Sometimes I think with the weight belt still on. I think I remember seeing the weight belt still on as you'd walk down the hall. I'm like, P-Conn just finished his workout. Now, Pat, I got another question for you, and then I want to show you our brackets and have you make a choice. But
okay.
I like Tony's question about working with Murph and Mac. I'm going to ask a similar question about working with Marty Laurie, because
I was going to ask about Marty. Nice.
Yeah, your partnership with Marty. I'm going to be honest with you. No disrespect to the people that have come after you and they work with Marty, but it's just not the same. Like your thing with Marty, right, Pat? I mean, all that, like, the sadness of Marty and like the sincerity of P-Conn, it was a match made in heaven. So give me like a couple of big takeaways or memories or just thoughts you have when you look back on your time with Marty Laurie.
I haven't spoken to him in a minute, but I will always consider him a dear friend. It did not start well, just because of his romance, his romantic gleam for baseball, and like the old Carlin skit, football versus baseball. He likes football, and I like baseball too, but he's so romantic about baseball, and sometimes I would gag. And he would probably be, if you were to ask him, he'd go, "Oh, Pat, great guy," but he just, Pat doesn't understand that the love and beauty of baseball. So I will tell you, one pivotal moment was we were sitting on the patio, and he would just brush right past me on a thought, And so I just said, look, Marty's a gangster. He's a jailhouse gangster.
No question.
Stand up to him, or he'll just keep taking your manhood.
Yeah,
I let him take my manhood no more for our friendship. So I just walked away from the booth, and I sat over at one of the cocktail tables, and Marty, being a very observant guy, being the lawyer, the legal eagle that he is, he noticed, and he walks over and he goes, "Everything okay?" And I said, "Marty, I'll set your gear up, but if you want to have a dialogue, it's got to be a dialogue."
Good for
you.
you.
From that moment forward, I really enjoyed every day with Marty. I mean, I want, like you always say, Paulie, let Marty be Marty, or let him be him.
Yeah.
Dude, the other day I was driving down the road in my Nissan Frontier listening to Marty do a spring training pregame show. And guys, I got a little choked up because I was like, I can't wait for fucking baseball now because the guy got me in a place, man. I'm like, thank you, Marty. Marty's a sweet guy. I love him, man.
Patrick, did you get a lump in the gurgler?
You know I did.
Yeah,
you know I did.
You're damn right.
I got my baseball cap on now. I'm super stoked for baseball to start. And look, I've always loved baseball, but I can't. Nobody can get on Marty's level. Tony, maybe you can, being a coach and a player, collegiate level, and damn near a professional. But Marty is so romantic about it. But hearing him the other day just brought joy to my entire vibe. It was great.
Hey, Pat, I wanted to. Oh, well, sorry, Tony. I just want to extend Patrick a formal invitation in front of everybody.
About to do that.
Yeah. And by the way, while I'm doing this, get the brackets ready because I want to go right into the brackets and show them what we got. So, P-Conn, and I don't know if you're available, but I just want you to know that next Thursday, opening day, Giants at Cincinnati, we are going to have a Polymac Particle watch party at Longbridge Pizza on 3rd Street, right up the street from Chase Center. And we're going to be there for 9 innings. We got all kinds of old friends coming. We got Leah Phillips. We got Patty from Napa. A lot of great Murphy Mac alumni will be present for this. And we'd love to have you, P-Conn, if you can make it. That's next Thursday, Longbridge Pizza. The door's open. We'd love to see it. If you can make it, that's all.
Dude, I'm gonna dip in for sure. There's no question.
Nice, okay. Pat. Thank you. I'm going to get a big-ass hug when I see you, bro. I'm hugging you hard when I see you. Yeah.
I'm coming for Tony, too, because I haven't seen him in so long.
Dude,
and you guys go heart to heart. You guys like to touch hearts and all that.
Totally. Yeah. P-Conn, we go way back, dude. But Leah Phillips, man, she's a super. Thank you, Leah, by the way. P-Conn used to ask if you were going number 1 or 2. One of my favorite sound bites, ML's right, Marty Leary's right, Pat.
Right, Pat? No, there's no question. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, P-Conn, you're going to have to isolate that ASAP because I need to hit that about 100 times every show. Right, Pat? It was like one of my crutches almost, P-Conn. I used to go to that all the time.
I forgot about Leah's thing, but I think, hey, Leah, how you doing? Leah, total gem. I think what she's referencing is this very obscure movie that only knuckleheads like us know about called Best of the Best with Chris Penn and Eric Roberts.
Okay,
my God.
Dude. As soon as you start talking Roberts, I'm interested. If Roberts is involved.
James Earl Jones was their karate master, and it's like Olympic Taekwondo. And to teach them how to get really a team vibe, he took them to a saloon and tried to instigate a fight with the Cowboys. And before the fight begins, Chris Penn, rest in peace, is standing by the women's bathroom, and as they enter in and out, he's asking, "You going 1 or 2?"
Yeah, no, it's P-Conn. You've got that kind of knowledge. And last thing I got to say on Chris Penn, and we're going to let you go in like 2 minutes, Pat. But I still have the viewing party for you, me, and Creative Tony. Speaking of Chris Penn, I need to show you the wildlife from the 1980s.
Oh, yeah.
I got Chris Penn, I got Eric Stoltz, I got Leah Thompson, soundtrack by Eddie Van Halen. I'll even throw in a Ron Wood cameo from the Rolling Stones. But Pat, know that that's coming. You need to sit down with us and watch it now. P-Conn, I want Tony to bring up our bummer brackets, and I want to show you the Polymac Particle brackets we set up, and I want you to make a choice. P-Conn, we did it in terms of miserable life experiences. We're not doing basketball. We're doing.
Let's start this too.
Show it to him.
Let's do this first. This our art director created this, P-Conn, just to get this going.
The bummer brackets.
We're calling it the bummer bracket.
That's so good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's from art director Don Peralta. But the bummer bracket started because I went to the DMV and I was bummed out, and then Paulie had to go to.
I had to deal with Xfinity. I had to get like a cable upgrade, and it was a nightmare. Pat, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show you that first. That's how this bracket started, and then here you go. Here's the bracket. We'll upload the bracket. So if everybody can see that, can you guys see that?
No, blow it up a little, T.
Here, I got to zoom in once I get in. Okay, here we go.
Zoom that S in. There we go. Yeah, we go.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to finish the so P-Conn? There's 4 different brackets. There is the medical bracket. There is the inconvenience bracket. There is the sports bracket, and then there's the music/entertainment bracket. So you can pick a bracket, any of those 4, and then we'll pick a matchup. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to go music, medical, sports, or inconvenience?
Okay, because this is my first time checking it out. I'm just taking a quick scan. I guess I would probably want to go medical because I feel like there's some doozies in here, you know?
Oh, dude, medical. Well, I actually placed the first vote. No, I think Tony did. And the idea, Patrick, is you choose the worst of the two, whichever is less tolerable or more unpleasant. That's the one you need to advance. So how about, how do you feel about a vasectomy going up? That's a 25 seed now, going up an 8 seed against tubes tied, P-Conn. Do you have any thoughts? Is that one you want to explore?
Oh shit. Well, I mean,
or you could go ACL, torn Achilles, if that's better.
Or here we can take a look. Take a look down at the inconvenience bracket. Car breakdown versus jury duty. Lost phone versus lost wallet. DMV versus Xfinity, AT&T, or Comcast going to get your Wi-Fi or phone fixed. Then
I would probably say that those are all great selections, but there cannot be a worse day than having to build yourself up emotionally for the battle that is about to come with Xfinity. It's like Mel Gibson getting ready to roll, man. I mean, when I go against Xfinity, and when we moved into our house, every weekend I was up there because they BS'd about the bill. And every weekend I would go up there. I mean, I put on the blue paint like Mel Gibson and Braveheart, baby. It's war.
Dude, it is war. Patrick, I just came out the other end of it. I've been dealing with Xfinity all week long. It took 3 hours yesterday. They were in my house for 3 hours yesterday. I think we finally resolved everything. But, Tony, get him up to his selection so he can advance that.
So I'll advance it after the show, but we'll advance Xfinity 8. We'll just call it Xfinity. We'll just call it, they'll advance, and they'll play the winner of lost phone lost wallet. So
yeah, it's a tough matchup. But P-Conn, I got to tell you, that's a serious death match you just voted on, dude. Yeah. DMV and Comcast, bro. It's a death sentence either way, but we appreciate your vote. We will advance the Xfinity as the winner of that matchup. And if you could collapse the bracket real quick, T, I just want to say goodbye to P-Conn and thank him
you bet.
for giving us some time. Pat loves. Oh, and last thing, Patrick, I talked to Butch Berry yesterday on the phone. He's getting ready to ramp up for another Sam Spear lunch, which you will be a part of. So
nice.
When he picks the date, that'll go out, and I'll see you there. Until that day, though, Patrick, thanks so much for coming on, bro. Great seeing you and great catching up with you, my brother.
Love you guys. And next time we got to rap about Draymond Green maybe being involved with the Rolling 60s gangsters down in L.A.
I saw that. Dude, insane.
We could have hours upon that, dude.
Okay, no, insane, Patrick. Insane. Tony, final thoughts
aren't mine necessarily.
Dude, P-Conn, that's a great parting shot. And by the way, just want to say, so great to see you, man. And let's have you on again, dude, like soon, because the stories keep coming. And yes, we can talk more Draymond Green. Maybe if the Dubs make a playoff run, we'll get you back on, dude. But it's great to see you, man. Seriously.
Give Michelle a big hug, Pat. We love you. Say hi to your wife, and we'll see you soon, my brother.
Peace and chicken grease, boys.
Patrick Connor, everybody.
Take care, brother.
Give him some love. Old Peaches, old Pat, one of our favorite guys. How great was it seeing P-Conn today?
He's just the energy, man. What I've always loved about Patrick is he always brought the energy, man. Always.
Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of energy, Dom Peralta's brought a lot of his energy to the show. He's a super right now. Welcome and P-Conn again. Thank you, Dom. And you know what? Actually, this is a perfect way. Let's go right into the musical assignment, Tony, because I have something that's sort of connected to Dom today. So, but I want you to start because it's kind of a potluck day on the assignment. I figured, like, since Tony is in Vegas, if you're cool with this, T, I thought like a good thing to do would be for you to just tell us about your favorite song you experienced last night, and then I will add that. I'll find a good version and I'll add it to the playlist. So, and then I'm going to do just like a general potluck pick, and I'll wrap the show that way. So, Tony, if you are ready, I'm going to let you start the festivities today, although Tony looks like he might be frozen. That's unfortunate. All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go first. Hopefully, Tony can unfreeze and rejoin. But in the meantime, Dom, this one is for you, my brother. And I'll tell you what, first of all, I want to thank Dom Peralta for all of his contributions to the show because they've been significant. They really have. Dom is responsible for the artwork and all the merch you're going to see next Thursday. Sounds like P-Conn's going to see it too, which is awesome. And Dom, by the way, speaking of the cost, I'll take care of that when I'm at Longbridge on Thursday. I'll take care of the cost. I'll take care of all that stuff. In the meantime, Dom Peralta was telling me that he's getting ready to go see Glenn Danzig tonight, former singer of the Misfits. I happen to be a big fan of that band. So, Dom, have a great time at the gig. And let me tell you this. I want to share today. Now, again, kind of a potluck pick, but this one's a tribute to my guy, Dom. I want to select something off my favorite Misfits album called Static Age. I got that bad boy right here, Static Age. This record, first of all, the Misfits, if you're not familiar, punk rock band from the 80s. They still gig, actually, occasionally. They become very big. Now they play arenas, dude. They played Madison Square Garden not too long ago, and they played Oracle Arena in Oakland a couple of years ago. So the Reformed Misfits are back, and this record is like the crown jewel to me. There's a lot of Misfits albums, but this is the one I would recommend you guys start with. So, Dom, you know, I look at the track list on this, Static Age, TV Casualty, I mean, Hybrid Moments. There are classic tunes on here, classics. But my selection, and I better write this down so I don't forget. Hey, Tony, welcome back to the program.
Sorry about that, B. My bad. I think that was a Vegas outage.
No sweat, bro. You're good. I'm doing my pick first, and then I'll throw it over to you, and then we can wrap it up. But
Sweet.
my choice for you, Dom, is going to be Return to the Fly. And I'll tell you why. First of all, Glenn Danzig can really sing. He's not like a punk.
Yeah.
He can't scream. He does a rah, rah, rah. He does all that, but he really can sing. He has kind of an Elvis-y kind of delivery, like really boomy, Return to the Fly, that kind of thing. And by the way, the guy is such an accomplished songwriter. Here's all the credentials you need to know about Glenn Danzig if you don't know this. Johnny Cash used to cover Glenn Danzig songs from the Misfits. Think about that.
Dude.
Johnny Cash covered Glenn Danzig songs. So that tells you that about his prowess as a songwriter. So for me, Tony, I'm going Misfits, Return to the Fly.
Sweet.
That's a dedication to our buddy Dom, who's going to see Glenn Danzig tonight. And for you, the floor is yours. Your standout track from last night. I'll add it to the playlist.
Real quick, I missed that when I dropped off because like the commenter said, I think it was Patty, that the bunker got me. Yes, the concrete bunker got me, Patty. But where is Dom seeing Glenn Danzig?
Good question. I'm not sure where the gig is.
Tom,
I'm not sure.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Where he's gigging. So dude, musical assignment for me. It's the show at the Sphere last night, Den Company, and it was pretty funny too. It was sports related. Like the news was flying around the show about Curry's back, at least in my section. You know, when it happened. So it was pretty funny to have sports and music colliding in that moment. So we want to send some particles to Steph Curry's back.
Yes,
we're doing that.
Very good.
And sports desk update.
Thank you.
I just want to do this real quick.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt up on St. Mary's 16-13 with 7:44 to play.
Yeah, I got it. I see it. Okay. Yeah.
Colorado State beating Memphis 68-60 with 3:54 to play.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, by the way, the Vanderbilt St. Mary's obviously first half score. And then Duke against Mount St. Mary's, they're crushing Mount St. Mary's 52-26. So just want to give that update. And dude, back to the show.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing was magic, man. The whole thing was magic. But Paulie, you know how much I love the song "Standing on the Moon."
I do.
You know.
Beautiful song. We played it together. You and I used to jam that on acoustics at Santa Cruz. Yeah.
And dude, thank you, Patty. By the way, don't forget to like when you're on YouTube. Please hit the like button. Smash it.
Yeah.
Bam,
Thanks,
bam,
Patty. Thank you
Crush
for being
that
our
like
den
button.
mother. No, we need that kind of discipline. Thank you, Patty.
Crush that like
ahead,
button.
T.
Yes. But "Standing on the Moon," when I first started hearing the first chord strumming, and I'm like, oh my God, I think it's "Standing on the Moon." Oh my God, I think it's "Standing on the Moon."
Song. Really
and
beautiful song. Yeah.
I tried to sit down and really soak it up, but then you know me at shows, Paulie, I have a hard time sitting down. So I stood up, and then the visuals, I'm trying to remember, I was so lost in the song. I didn't fully, obviously they did some sky and moonscapes during that, but and also it was a very San Francisco based show.
That's correct. Yeah.
Where they ended after Touch of Grey, they ended back at 710 Ashbury because that's where they started the show.
So cool.
Visually. And then they ended up back at that doorstep, which was just incredible. But for me, my musical assignment pick for this week is "Standing on the Moon" last night from Dead Company, because it was just gorgeous. And John freaking Mayer, dude.
Yeah, he can play, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's what my dad kept saying all night. He goes, I can't get over Mayer. I can't get over Mayer.
No, he's
my dad
crazy.
Was floored by him. Floored.
Yeah.
And then you got O'Teal just with his smile and his like
great guy. Yeah.
Like if we ever do like a non-bummer bracket, one of the final should be like maybe they all smile the best smiles. I'll put Melvin Seals up against O'Teal.
Ooh, that's a good matchup. That's a 1 and a 2. That's a
Totally,
1
dude.
seed and a 2 seed right there.
But
All right,
just
well,
the greatest smiles. And then Mickey and Jay Lane just a friggin' driving the bus on the drums. And it was an incredible experience, Paulie. And like you said,
good.
You really can't just the words don't do it justice. You have to go experience it for yourself. It's like, of course, I can say it's amazing, but like that's still, you just have to experience it for yourself. So
hey, Andrew and Rags both quoting Standing on the Moon lyrics. Andrew somewhere in San Francisco on a back porch in July, and then Rags coming in with a lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. Some of the really, really beautiful Robert Hunter lyrics. Jerry used to sing his ass off on that one, so I'm glad you got that.
And also, going down the road was a phenomenal jam and just a dance party, and like is going where the water tastes like wine, man. Just God. And then also last thing, Paulie, when they opened the show with "Give Me Some Lovin'," which nobody saw coming. Like,
they'd never played it before. They'd never played it. Yeah,
that's the first time they played it ever in Den Company. Is that correct? That's correct.
First time played last night.
And again, I think you said at the beginning of the show, you should say again, it was a tribute to Phil, right?
Oh, 100%. It was because Phil used to sing that song with Brent. And that's, if you're not familiar with the Dead or you don't go to shows, it's fine. But they don't ever talk about, we want to dedicate this to our fallen brother, Phil. Like, that's the kind of shit you're never going to hear, but they will play music to acknowledge it. So they did. That was definitely for Phil Lesh, guaranteed.
Well, and then like in the "Give Me Some Lovin'," so glad you made it, right? Because everybody, it was the first night of the run.
Yeah.
And obviously people, a lot of people were traveling that day and got to the show. So everybody dealt with their whatever they had to deal with to get there. And then the "So Glad You Made It" lyric just wrapped it up so nicely, man. It was great.
All right. Well, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to add "Return to the Fly" by the Misfits, and I'm going to add "Standing on the Moon" by the Grateful Dead to the PMP playlist 25. It's waiting for you on Spotify. You can search it as it's called, PMP playlist 25, or search it through my username, Paulie Pix. That's Paulie Pix. You'll find it that way. Final thoughts on Longbridge Pizza, Tony, before you fly your ass home. Shout out to our buddy Neil Donardi, another South San Francisco guy. He's just like P-Conn, stand-up guy, all heart and soul, a lot of integrity. And that laid-back vibe is waiting for you. You're going to experience it firsthand next Thursday. But the pizza is no joke. They're serious about their vibe, but they're serious about their pizza and all their food, from the Caesar salads to the beer selections to just the kick-ass pizzas, dude. That's like a never-ending quest I'm on in my life, is to try and eat and consume the best pizza I can. Longbridge is on that list. These guys are really good, man. I'm not messing around when it comes to pizza, and I would not steer you guys wrong. We will all enjoy the Polymac Particle Pizza. The debut is coming up on Thursday for the watch party. So I can't wait to see that, and I can't wait to meet everybody. So, Tony, I'll let you finish up on Longbridge, and we're going to send everybody into their weekend. Go ahead, brother.
Well, it's just, we got so much love for Andrew and Steve. I mean, Andrew and Steven with the playlist, and obviously he does more than the playlist. He does a lot of their social media stuff too. But Andre and Karen, and of course Neil, they're just great people in the house there at Longbridge, and they're going to take care of you, and they take care of the neighborhood too. They're very passionate about the Dog Patch neighborhood as well, so they're very active in the community there, which I love about them. It's just they're just a great local business. And also, we've talked about the pizzas, we've talked about the salads, we talked about the sandwiches, but now they got new spices in, dude. So Neil and I were talking about this earlier this week, because he and I are we like compare spices or hot sauces and that kind of stuff. He's psyched about the new spices they got in. Ask for Paulie's stash behind the counter. Ask for Paulie's stash. And it's different kinds of spices they got in. And chili, like chili flakes, right? There are different types of chili flakes. So different flavors, different heat ranges. Remember, you can always eat more, you can never eat less.
Thank you, Tony. I want to address one final commenter, because I don't think I've seen her before. Bonnie Jacobson is on the comments line talking about the Garcia Band show at Shoreline on September 1st, 1990. Hey, Bonnie, I was at that show.
Nice.
I flew out. And you know what happened? That was scheduled because the Grateful Dead had a run of shows at Shoreline, and then Brent passed away unexpectedly. So they had to cancel that run of shows, get Bruce Hornsby in place, get Vince Welnick in place. But while all that was going on, Garcia stepped in and goes, you know what, I'll do a show at Shoreline for everybody that's coming out. And I was there, Bonnie. That was an emotional night. And in fact, Bonnie, if you didn't know this, that has been released on DVD. You can actually buy that show and watch it again if you haven't done so. Bonnie, hope to see you next Thursday as well. She says she met me at a Zags USF game. Oh, yeah, Bonnie. Yes. Sorry.
Nice.
I do remember meeting you, Bonnie. That's totally cool. Yeah. pleasure to meet you and hope to see you at Longbridge. Now I know exactly who you are. Cool, Bonnie. Nice to see you again.
Hey,
all
John
right.
Joseph, he said to check the email. I will check the email, brother, and I will be in touch. That's for damn sure. By the way, if you want to email us, pollyspod@gmail.com, pollyspod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And at Polymax Particles on YouTube, at Polymax Particles on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and TuneIn and iHeart. And also check out the Bay Area Sports Collective, because check out Tom Tolbert's show, check out John Lund's show.
Yep.
John Lund basically every morning at 8 a.m. He's a madman too, though. It's like if Ayuk gets traded tonight, he'll be on immediately to talk about Ayuk getting traded. Tolbert goes 3 days a week. This week he did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because of the tournament, and I think they might do the same next week because of the tournament. But
yeah,
so Tom's usually 3 days a week. I think they're gonna have Dave Fleming on next week, which will be pretty cool for them. And and just go bayareasc.com to check out the Sports Collective, or search at Bay Area Sports Collective on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. You take care of that head. Have a safe trip back, and dismiss the class if you could before we all go into our weekends.
So glad you made it.
Yeah, sing it, Tony. Sing it, damn it.
That's how I feel right now. Like we made
ahead.
it, Paulie.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you, by the way, everybody commenting for your patience with my voice and my I'm tired. I'm just
I wouldn't have you any other way today, Tony. Is David Lee ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Hey, man, great review today, Tony. Thank you. It was great to see you. Great to hear all about the Sphere. I'm glad you and your dad had a great time. I really
so
and your
good.
cousin and your uncle. Thank you, everybody, for another fun week on the Particle Show. Karen Bell, you were at the Brent Show, too. Or the Garcia Band Show, I should say. Nice. We got a whole little community happening here. A sub-community of 9190. I was there. By the way, Rags, you know who I was there with? Your brother, Brian. I was there with Brian and Duff. We had a great time. We flew out from Jersey. Karen, we'll talk more about that next week. Bonnie, I'll see you next week. Naomi, have a great weekend. Marcel, all y'all. Dom, you the man. Have a good time at Danzig. Everybody be cool. Be safe. We'll see you Monday right here at 11 o'clock for Polymax Particles. Have a great weekend, everybody. Tony, get home safe, kid. See you soon, brother. Peace.
Well, I'll talk to you over the weekend, buddy. Take care, everybody. Peace, y'all.